waves.
There's nothing like volunteering, but my moderate to severe eczema can make it hard.
Now, I'm staying ahead of it.
DuPixent helps heal your skin from within, so you can have clearer skin and noticeably less itch. Serious allergic reactions can occur that can be severe. Tell your doctor about new or worsening eye problems such as eye pain or vision changes, including blurred vision, joint aches and pain, or a parasitic infection. Don't change or stop asthma medicines without talking to your doctor. Ask your doctor about DuPixent.
I think you grow when you're uncomfortable.
I want to do this so bad.
Happening now.
I think belonged to my neighbor. His car got vandalized this morning. He said the only thing that was missing was a cooler that he got for Christmas.
A group of suspected burglars spent the night breaking into cars on the southwest side. How a pair of AirPods led San Antonio police to those teenagers. And as 2022 was coming to an end, the criminal courts had quite a few trials. 2023 expected to be even busier. We have a preview of some of the high-profile cases coming to the Bexar County Courthouse this year.
We had near record warmth today to start off the year, but coming up, I've got the latest on a cool front that's at least going to make it less humid for the remainder of the week. I'll have those details. The news at 5 starts right now.
Busted by earbuds. San Antonio police crediting a set of earbuds for helping them get their eyes and hands on a group of car burglary suspects.
Yeah, they say the stolen AirPods sent out a signal that made it tough for the suspects to hide. Katrina Weber spoke to the owner of those AirPods, who also played a big role in those arrests.
Teenagers appear to be in adult-sized trouble. Arrested on the southwest side this morning after San Antonio police say they pulled an all-nighter, breaking into cars.
Noticed that my AirPods was missing and immediately went to my iPhone and tracked it.
Dwayne Arrington first learned he was one of the victims around 4:30 this morning, then tracked his AirPods to this truck stop near I-35 and Fisher Road. He says a signal from those earbuds, stolen from his work van outside his Leon Valley home, led him here. Arrington called police after finding them in an SUV with 5 sleeping teens. He says he chased one boy who tried to run.
As I got closer to him, I saw that he was reaching for something in his pocket, and it turned out to be it looked like a small caliber gun.
Luckily, he safely tackled that suspect and held him until police arrived. Officers caught 3 other teens. They say a 5th person got away in the SUV. Arrington, meanwhile, got his AirPods back. As it turns out, it's not just Arrington's AirPods that were recovered, but police say they found lots of other stolen property.
The toolkit and all the tools in the cooler over there is my neighbor's.
While that news may make his neighbor happy, Arrington may still need help from police in putting this troubled morning behind him. He says in addition to having his work van burglarized, someone also stole his personal car. Katrina Weber, KSAT 12 News.
Well, tonight, we now know the suspect accused of firing a gun at a San Antonio police officer who was responding to a family disturbance call. Bexar County jail records show 31-year-old Isaiah Mata shot at a police officer around 11 p.m. on New Year's Eve in the 6100 block of Rose Valley. According to SAPD, the officer went up to the house and then Mata allegedly started shooting. The officer was not hit. Mata then ran into a wooded area behind the house. A police helicopter did find him and officers were able to shortly arrest him after. He is now facing charges of unlawful carry of a weapon, assault causing bodily injury to a family member, and aggravated assault of a public servant.
As of this hour, San Antonio police trying to figure out who shot a teenager in a drive-by. It happened just after midnight at the Casa Point Villas on the 4100 block of I-10. That's on the northeast side. Officers say a 16-year-old was sitting on the couch inside the apartment when they were shot in the arm. Police said the suspect was in a dark-colored sedan. This is an ongoing investigation.
Tonight, a man is recovering after crashing his car on Loop 1604 overnight. The crash happened sometime around 2:30 this morning on Loop 1604 and I-10. San Antonio police say the man drove off the highway and rolled off the on-ramp. He was taken to University Hospital and is expected to be okay. No one else was injured in that crash, and police have not said what caused the man to crash his car.
He's accused of killing his wife and hiding her body. As we move further into the new year, KSAT's court reporter Erica Hernandez gives us a look at several high-profile cases we're expecting to see play out in Bexar County courtrooms.
Trials that we've been anticipating look to finally start in 2023. We first have to mention the Andre McDonald case. The trial was supposed to start in 2021, but delays have kept it from going. McDonald, an Army major in 2019, is accused of killing his wife, Andreen McDonald, and disposing of her body in North Bexar County. As of right now, jury selection is set to begin January 17th. And right after the McDonald trial, the Iman Johnson trial is expected to begin in February. Johnson in 2017 is accused of setting fire to his gym that spread to an entire shopping center. The fire caused the death of SAFD firefighter Scott Deems and injured 2 others. Johnson is facing multiple charges in this case, including murder and arson. Next up, while no date is set yet, but the retrial for Mark Howerton could finally take place. Howerton is accused of the 2017 murder of Trinity University cheerleader Kaylee Mandotti. In 2019, Howerton's trial ended in a mistrial with a hung jury. His defense attorneys have tried to stop the retrial from happening, but a 4th Court of Appeals denied that request earlier this year. Also, a case to watch is that of Andrew Elizondo. If you remember, on Mother's Day in 2021, a 6-year-old girl was killed as her mother drove away from a car club gathering. Elizondo was charged with the murder, and his next court date is the end of January. Erica Hernandez, KSAT 12 News.
Now, all these upcoming dates can always change as resets can be granted or a surprise plea takes place. You can stay up to date on all our court coverage by signing up for our open court newsletter on KSAT.com. And by the way, happening tomorrow, the sentencing for ex-Bexar County Constable Michelle Barrientos Vela continues. Vela found guilty 4 months ago on 2 counts of tampering with government records. The sentencing is scheduled to begin tomorrow morning at 10. We'll be live streaming it on our website, KSAT.com, and our KSAT YouTube channel as well. The trial expected to wrap up this week. Vela faces anywhere from 2 years probation to 10 years in prison.
Well, 3 people were killed in Charlotte, North Carolina today when scaffolding collapsed at a construction site. It's not yet known what led to that accident, but the city's fire department is securing the area. 2 other people were taken to the hospital with minor injuries. Now to the latest on the murder of 4 Idaho college students. The suspect, still behind bars in Pennsylvania, is expected to appear in court tomorrow to start the extradition process. Brian Koberger faces murder charges after being arrested on Friday in Pennsylvania, more than 2,000 miles away from the crime scene. Authorities say Koberger stabbed Zaina Kernadel, Madison Mogan, and Kaylee Gonsalves to the death in their beds. The childhood friend of his now speaking out, painting a contrasting picture of his personality.
He was perfectly friendly, nice to be around, talked, he's a very intelligent person.
Kohlberger's family releasing a statement saying, in part, "We have fully cooperated with law enforcement agencies in an attempt to seek the truth and promote his presumption of innocence," end quote. Kohlberger's attorney says his client is eager to be exonerated.
And tonight we have new details about a machete attack on 3 New York police officers near Times Square on New Year's Eve. Investigators say that attack was carried out by a 19-year-old. Federal investigators say the suspect is Trevor Bickford. That's a picture of him. They say Bickford traveled to New York City from Maine. The FBI now searching his home, going through social media posts to find a motive. All of the officers injured in that attack have been released from the hospital. The New York Police Department says the suspect was stopped after being shot in the shoulder. Officers in the area were worried that there was a mass shooter there.
Well, I thought it was a shooting, and I was trying to get out of there as quick as possible.
We thought somebody's trying to shoot as many people as possible. Another mass shooting.
Both federal and local law enforcement say this is an isolated incident. There's no larger threat to be played out here. The 19-year-old is now being charged with 2 counts of attempted murder of a police officer and 2 counts of attempted assault.
Now to the extreme weather in California. A winter storm bringing flooding and heavy snow to parts of the state. Evacuation orders are in place in low-lying communities as floodwaters rise to dangerous levels. As ABC's Rena Roy tells us, at least 1 person has been confirmed dead. That as the state braces for 2 more storms later this week.
Homes engulfed, cars floating through water, and roadways shut down as Northern California faces dangerous flash flooding. An atmospheric river dumping historic amounts of rain. ABC's Matt Gutman on the ground in Point Pleasant, where evacuation orders are in place.
The speed of this rushing water you're seeing behind me gives you a sense of the volume here.
San Francisco seeing its second wettest day on record with 5 inches of rain falling in the downtown area on Saturday.
street flooding, house flooding, mudslides, rock slides, wires down, trees down.
Within 15 minutes, a garage door busted, cracked, and the water just started pouring in. And this place was full in a half an hour. It was full.
At least 3 to 4 feet of floodwater rushing into this restaurant in San Francisco's Mission neighborhood.
We had half of us standing on these tables here and the rest of them inside. And then at a certain point, it was clear that there was nothing to do, so we decided to evacuate.
The massive amount of rain causing at least 2 levees to fail, an entire community urged to seek higher ground. One man was found dead in his vehicle near the city of Elk Grove. In Fresno County, responders rescued the 78-year-old man from his pickup truck as floodwaters rose around him. Severe flooding near the city of Danville turned roads into fast-flowing rivers. Firefighters used kayaks to help this mom and her 2 young children.
I really felt at no time we weren't going to be rescued, but it still was very traumatic.
And it wasn't just the rain coming down hard. At one point, over 7 inches of snow fell per hour Saturday afternoon in Lake Tahoe.
And Northern California is not in the clear yet. 2 more storms are expected later this week. Several more feet of snow could fall on the northern Sierra Nevada. Rena Roy, ABC News, Los Angeles. And it's not just California that's dealing with dangerous weather. There are parts of northeast Texas that are under the gun for the potential for tornadoes tonight. We'll talk a little bit more about that, but it's been a lovely day here across south central Texas, just a little bit on the warm side. In fact, near 90 degrees out in Eagle Pass. Closer to San Antonio, we've seen temperatures in the low 80s, upper 70s. A very warm day for us. In fact, the high temperature, 82 degrees, well above the average of 63. Now, here's what we're going to talk about in the forecast. Tonight, it'll be mild and muggy, but a cool front will arrive after midnight. That's going to allow for lower humidity tomorrow and slightly cooler, but still warm temperatures. And then finally this week, chilly mornings, comfy afternoons. There's a lot to go through, though, including a small chance for rain for some with that front arriving tonight. I'll have those details coming up.
Thank you, Sarah. All right, you want some visual evidence that this is observed as a holiday? Look at this, 281 at Hildebrand. It's usually backed up at this time on a regular day, but, you know, kids are out of school, a lot of workplaces observing this as New Year's Day, and so, yeah, this is what we get.
It's a time to go driving.
It's a time if you want, if you have some place to go, this is the day.
All right. Well, tonight the Vatican is releasing more details on the funeral for Pope Emeritus Benedict XVI. The Pope's funeral will happen overnight Thursday with a burial to follow immediately after. He'll be buried in a crypt where over 90 popes have been laid to rest. Today, tens of thousands of people lined up to see the former pope one last time. Mourners filed into St. Peter's Basilica all day to see him lying in state. He was adorned with bishop headgear and a rosary in his hand.
You could feel the emotions he had before he died. That's what my impression was.
I'm very emotional. My daughter was born right when he became Pope.
Vatican security estimates about 65,000 people came by to see the late pontiff just today. Benedict XVI served as the leader of the Catholic Church for just under 8 years.
You're still ahead on the news at 5. The latest on an experimental drug aimed at helping people with Alzheimer's and dementia. The FDA expected to approve the new treatment. We're going to tell you when.
Plus, a local teen following her dreams. After the break, meet the girl who opened her own barbacoa restaurant at the age of 15 on the Northwest Side.
Here's what we're working on for you tonight on the news at 6. A family spending the new year trying to find a new place to live after their home was lost in a fire. We're going to tell you the unexpected blessings helping this family get back on their feet.
Plus, a new year, but an old problem has one Northeast Side family counting their blessings after a bullet went through their roof. Tonight at 6, the family's message to the people they say rang in the new year by shooting into the air. Meanwhile, a San Antonio teen is following her dreams after opening a restaurant with her sister and parents. Sarah Hernandez was just 15 years old when she opened her store on the Northwest Side. Now at 19, she's the CEO of Sarah's Barbacoa, and her sister Rebecca is the chief financial officer. Sarah says the food is made with love and the barbacoa is an old family recipe. While running her own restaurant at a young age hasn't been easy, she has a message for other teens who want to follow their dreams.
To believe in yourself, obviously, like your dreams can go far, and even with your family or with your friends or people that you trust, it's possible to make your own dreams come true.
On top of barbacoa, the restaurant also sells menudo, tamales, and tortillas. What an amazing venture for her.
Way to go, Sarah. All right. Alzheimer's has been called the long goodbye. Many people have been affected by it. This week, the Food and Drug Administration expected to announce whether it will give accelerated approval of an experimental new treatment, lecanemab. It's the first experimental dementia drug that appears to slow the progression of cognitive decline. Accelerated approval allows for earlier approval of drugs that treat serious conditions. Phase 3 trials indicate the drug has shown potential as an Alzheimer's treatment, but there's also serious concerns about it. It's been associated with certain serious adverse events, such as brain swelling and bleeding. The FDA's final decision for lecanemab is expected January 6th.
All right, taking a look outside at live cam. This is, I said this yesterday over the weekend. I'm already sweating in 2023.
This is not January.
I'm not thrilled about it, but I also know what's going on in other parts of the country, so we can't be, we can't complain that much. But it's weird.
The weather
80s in January.
I'm not, trust me, I'm not happy about it, Steve.
Yeah, I know you're not happy. I'm backing you up.
I agree with you guys, too. I'm calling it winter whiplash, actually. Because take a look. It was just 10 days ago that our temperature was at 16 degrees. Remember that just before Christmas? 16 degrees on that Friday. Today, the high temperature was 82. That is a 66-degree difference across San Antonio and south central Texas in just the span of 10 days. Yeah, I consider that winter whiplash. All right, outside right now it is 82 degrees. We've got south-southwest winds breezy at about 10 miles per hour. And tonight the sun's going to set here just within the next 30 minutes. It'll be a mostly clear evening, a bit muggy with temperatures in the 60s, but after midnight a cool front is going to arrive. Let's take a look at the weather setup across the nation. First of all, very dynamic system working across the Central Plains, bringing a lot of snowfall to parts of the Dakotas, Nebraska, the Rockies. But across Texas, an area in northeast Texas, right around Texarkana, is under a bullseye for the potential for some tornadoes tonight. This red polygon that you see that also extends up to eastern Oklahoma, that's a tornado watch right ahead of a dry line. Behind it, weather is pretty quiet. We do have a cool front here, but unfortunately, this is not going to bring us chilly weather. Instead, what it is going to do, though, is bring much drier weather to San Antonio. So today was warm and humid, a bit sticky outside. With this front moving through, it's going to be a lot more pleasant outside, even though it'll stay fairly warm. As we look into the evening, this front is expected to move through right around midnight, and it's at that time that we have about a 20% chance for an isolated shower. You'll be lucky if you get rain, but it could be possible that you hear a little bit of rain on your windowsill later on tonight. Again, only about a 20% chance for coverage. This is a snapshot at 3 o'clock. Really, in the pre-dawn hours, most of that rain should be out to the east toward Gonzales, Hallettsville, and the like. And even then, it's going to be fairly isolated. Behind that front, though, tomorrow we'll see mostly sunny skies, a few wispy cirrus clouds out there. And again, in spite of the fact that the front is going to move through, it's still going to be much warmer than average. The average high temperature this time of year is 63. We're forecasting about 75 in San Antonio, 78 in Pleasanton. It'll be 75 in Del Rio, 73 in Kerrville, and 77 in New Braunfels. So still much more above average. But the good news is you won't have to deal with the humidity tomorrow. That front is going to move through, sweep away the humidity. It'll be a very pleasant day for any kind of outdoor activities. Even if that's just walking to your car, you're gonna go, whew, feels great outside. As you look at the dew point tracker, that low humidity will stick with us through Friday. I think we'll see an uptick in humidity on Saturday. And so throughout this week, we're going to have pleasantly low humidity. That means chilly mornings in the 40s and afternoons in the 70s. That typical winter time in San Antonio where you need to dress in layers because it's cold in the morning and comfortable in the afternoon. Tomorrow, 57 in the early morning hours. We are going to have winds from the north at about 10 to 15, so a bit breezy. 70 at noon, and the high temperature will be 75. Sunny and 75 on the 3rd of January. Going to be feeling pretty nice in the coming days. Again, look at those morning lows. That's enough for a jacket for me, at least, with temperatures in the 40s. But afternoons in the 70s. And then over the weekend, we do have a shot at some rain on Sunday. Best coverage about 30%, so not decent amount of rain, but still something to be looking forward to over the weekend.
Are you okay with that, Courtney?
I'm okay with the possible showers. My grass is so dead because of that freeze.
Well, yeah.
It's not good.
Yeah. Big time. All right.
Big time.
The Spurs head head east for this road trip.
Yeah, they're joining the Big Apple actually for 4 days. They arrived yesterday. They don't leave until Wednesday. They play both the Nets and the Knicks. The Nets tonight. We'll give you a preview when we come back. Also, it all comes down to the final week for the Cowboys in the NFC East title after a loss by the Eagles. Coming up. All right, San Antonio Spurs spending 4 days in New York where they'll face the Brooklyn Nets tonight before going up against the Knicks in the Garden on Wednesday. That's after arriving in the Big Apple on Sunday. The Nets are one of the beasts of the East, the second best record in the Eastern Conference, the exact opposite record of the Spurs at 24-12. It's after the Spurs nearly pulled off the upset of the year against the Dallas Mavericks at home on New Year's Eve. Even though Luka Doncic had 51 points, Trey Jones missed a critical free throw that would have tied the game, and instead the Spurs lost 126-125 in a great effort. Rookie Jeremy Sohan got his first shot at defending one of the best players in the NBA.
I feel like, I try and rise to the challenge, try to compete, so I feel like it helps a lot. I think it's just fun. It excites me and it's entertaining for me to, go against the best players.
All right, back at work tonight, 6:30 tip time. Highlights for you tonight on the Night Beat.
Pro football coverage, powered by Davis Law Firm.
Dallas Cowboys still have a shot at clinching the NFC East when they face the Commanders in Washington this week. That's after the Eagles are stunned by the Saints 20-10 without Jalen Hurts as a starting quarterback for the second straight week, still nursing an injury to his throwing shoulder, among other things. But the Eagles believe he will be ready for the Giants in the final week of the regular season. In order for the Cowboys to clinch the NFC East, they need to beat the Commanders and have the Eagles lose to the Giants. Here's a look at the latest NFC East standings. You see Philadelphia is on top, but remember, Dallas owns the tiebreaker. They're at number 2 right now, followed by the Giants and Washington. The Houston Texans got into the final week of the regular season with the worst record in the NFL. That's after they were jumped by the Jaguars 31-3. That's right, not a single touchdown, only a field goal produced by Houston. In their loss, Davis Mills did not throw an interception, but he also did not throw a touchdown, was only 22 of 40. But this was ruled a fumble that cost the Texans the touchdown when Tyson Campbell returned the turnover for the touchdown. The victory by Jacksonville snapped a 9-game losing streak to Houston and now sits at 2-13-1. What does Mills believe gives him a shot at being the team's starting quarterback next season?
More experience that I've built up over the course of the season. I think throughout the season after I kind of got benched and then put back in there, I've continued to trend upwards and want to keep moving that way. Continue to protect the football, don't make the same mistakes, and grow as a player.
If they get the number 1 pick, and if they do not select a quarterback, fire Nick Caserio immediately.
They have to be looking quarterback.
Yeah, that's it.
Thanks, Greg.
We will be right back. In your KSAT 12-hour forecast for the day tomorrow, we'll start off in the mid to upper 50s, a little cool, but winds will pick up from the north at about 10 to 15. We'll see gusts up to about 20-25 miles per hour during the day tomorrow. Mostly sunny skies around lunch and 70 degrees. The high temperature tomorrow, 75. It's going to be a beautiful day with much lower humidity than what we saw out there today. So try to soak it up. We'll have low humidity through most of this work and school week. Chilly mornings with temperatures in the 40s. Comfortable afternoons in the 70s, much warmer than average. And we really don't have a big, strong Arctic cold front in the near future, so feeling a little bit more like spring instead of winter in the coming days.
I accept that.
She's relieved, I can tell. Sarah's very relieved that you accept her forecast. We'll see you at 6.